morning, everyone. We'll start in about 5 minutes or so. Let's start on time if you can. All right, everyone, it's 10:30 on my watch, so let's go. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to Houston Oasis. My name is Abhishek Mathur, and I'm one of the board members here. Speaking of which, we do have some new members of the board. Some of them are in the audience today. For those of you who don't know, the Houston Oasis board really does a lot of the organizing work during the week. And we've been stewards for the past 11 years or so at this point, past 11 years. And as far as Houston Oasis goes, you see one of the core values on my t-shirt here. We have those t-shirts on sale on Bonfire. I like to speak for some of the other ones too. There's reality is known through reason, but there's also meaning comes from making a difference, and human hands solve human problems. There's others too that you can read about, and let me know if you have any questions on those. Today we have a great program today. We have music by Pete, and Petesimple here, right here. He's one of our music directors. So the community moment will be given by Sledge, and our main talk will be given by Lew Kana. First, let's get started with 2 songs from Petesimple.
Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Ready?
Ready.
Wouldn't it be nice to leave Los Angeles? So let's just see what comes of it. Finding those hipsters that hang around. Wouldn't it be nice to leave tonight with the rain and down on you? Whisper moonlit night sings so softly across your town. Let the rain come down on me, and you will always right my wrongs. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to leave Houston, Texas? Let's just see what comes of it. Riding the rail silently downtown tonight. It's a one-way ticket to nowhere and out of sight. Let the rain come down on you. Whisper moonlit night sings so softly across your town. Let the rain come down on me, and you will always right my wrongs. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to leave New York City? Your friends still help you when it comes time. Finding your dreams already conquered and won. Wouldn't it be nice to leave tonight? Let the rain come down on you. Whisper moonlit night sings so softly across your tongue. Let the rain come down on me, and you will always right my wrongs. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Peggy. You said 2 songs, right? Yeah. Let me get a battery. Maybe. Are we muted on the guitar before I pop your system? Thanks. It's still gonna pop there, I'm sure. Forgot the rest of my guitar. There we go. All right. lost everything to you. So you wanna start something new. It's breaking my heart to leave it. Baby, I'm grieving. If you wanna leave, take good care. You have a lot of nice friends out there. A lot of nice things turn bad out there. Well, oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, 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 baby. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do, breaking my heart in two. Never wanna see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. If you wanna leave, take good care. You have a lot of nice things to wear. A lot of nice things turn bad out there. Well, oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, 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 baby. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. Baby, I love you. If you wanna live, take good care. You have a lot of nice friends out there. A lot of nice things turn bad out there. Well, oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, baby, baby. Oh baby, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like a child girl. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. That was good. All right. Now we have a community moment from Tim Sledge. If you're not aware of what's a community moment, it's a short 10-minute talk given by some of our community members. And today we have Tim, who's a former Southern Baptist pastor, a writer, and a radio talk show host and counselor. He led his last church in Katy to grow from 500 to 2,000 members, but he left the Christian faith in 2008. And as of last evening, 3 of his top 8 Kindle books under agnosticism category on Amazon were written or edited and published by Tim. His Goodbye Jesus and 4 Disturbing Questions are on sale at Amazon. Today's topic is the power of encouragement. Go ahead, Tim.
All right, thank you. Stopwatch. That's the hardest part of it so far. Got it all set. There we go. Okay. 400 teenagers sit in an auditorium at summer camp. The camp leader announces a contest. He needs 3 volunteers. All of a sudden, from everywhere in the auditorium, the hands go up. Pick me, pick me. He picks 3. They're sent to a room to the side where they can't hear what's going on the stage. And the camp leader explains that this contest is about seeing who can hold up a gray metal folding chair like this the longest. And he says there'll be 2 rounds. And the audience is important because for round 1, the audience must be completely silent. But for round 2, he says, well, I'll explain that later. So the first contestant comes out. She's a middle school girl. The audience isn't quite sure she can even pick up the chair, but she does, and she holds it up. You can tell she's determined. She wants to win, and she holds it up as long as she can, but pretty soon her arms begin to quiver, and she has to put the chair down. The audience is completely silent. The process is repeated with contestants 2 and 3, and then they're all 3 put back in the quiet room, and the camp leader reinforces what he said earlier. He said, okay, guys, You 397 teenagers out there, I want you to become the world's greatest cheering section, and when they start to drop that chair, I want you to say, don't give up, you can do it. Anything you can think of to encourage them. So contestant 1, the middle school girl, comes back out. Now remember, her arms are aching because of what she just did. She took herself to the limit. But she does it again. And when she starts, well, as soon as she starts, we're behind you, you can do it, we believe it. It's like everybody. It's like, and she's never had this kind of encouragement in her life. And when she starts to drop it, say, no, don't give up, don't give up. This process is repeated 3 times. And guess what? I know you already know what I'm going to say. All 3 of them hold the chair up longer the second time than the first. I actually did this exercise many times with different youth groups across the years. And on the average, I found that they held the chair up twice as long the second time as the first. This is a talk, we've got old-fashioned AV stuff today, about the power of encouragement. And now, here's another image, and I want you to follow me on this. Imagine a smaller room this time, maybe about this size. We've got 100 adults in a small group training session. The chairs are in concentric circles, and in the inner circle, there are 8 chairs. The group leader says, I need 8 volunteers. We're going to do a demonstration in small group and people dynamics. And he explains to them that each person will wear a headband that tells the rest of the group how to act toward them. And so he gets his 8 volunteers, and they sit in the circle, and they each get a headband. And here's what the headbands say. I'll read these to you in a minute. Now, what the volunteers don't know is that the group leader has picked these are negative head signs, and for the negative head signs, he's picked the leaders, the vocal, the outgoing extroverts who always have something to say and often take over a meeting. And for the positive headbands, he has picked the people who are quiet, introverted, and might go through a whole meeting without ever saying anything. Now, everybody in the group can see all the other headbands except their own, and they don't know what their own says. And here's what the headbands say. Ignore me. Another says disagree with me. Another says interrupt me. Another says laugh at me. On the other side, one says listen to me. One says agree with me. Another says flatter me. And another says treat me as your leader. And guess what? It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes until the people who are normally talking all the time and leading the group are virtually silent, and the people who usually say nothing are leading the group. Isn't that amazing? And that's another one I did over and over, and it always happens. Why? Because encouragement matters. The lack of encouragement matters, big time. I've been reading a great book by David Brooks. It's called How to Know a Person. New York Times bestseller. Yesterday, I think it was number 14 on Amazon, where there are 10 million plus books for sale. About a week ago, I tried to buy a hardback or paperback at 2 different bookstores, and it was sold out, so I got the Kindle version. David Brooks writes about how to know a person. And this is very relevant to my topic today of encouragement. I want to read a couple of his statements from the book. He says, there's one skill that lies at the heart of any healthy person, family, school, community organization, or society. The ability to see someone else deeply and make them feel seen. To accurately know another person, to let them feel valued, heard, and understood. I like that, don't you? Sounds pretty good. Listen to what else he writes. The percentage of Americans who said they have no close friends quadrupled between 1990 and 2020. In one survey, 54% of Americans reported that no one knows them well. More to the point, 36% of Americans reported that they felt lonely frequently or almost all of the time. And if we narrow that down to young adults, the percentage is 61%. So the research done by David Brooks and the response to his book tells me that one of the key measures of success for Houston Oasis in 2024 must surely be how effective we are at providing a place where people are seen, heard, and known. Or to put it another way, how effective we are at encouragement. And at this point, I want to give a pat on the back to the leaders of Houston Oasis and to all of you. I might get emotional here. Man, this place means a lot to me. When I left my faith, I can't tell you how many friends I lost. Family members are like, and they don't persecute me, they just act like I don't exist anymore. And this is a place where people get me. You understand what it is like to leave your faith. You understand what it's like to swim against the current in a society that is largely religious. Thank you. You encourage me. And when I'm driving home on Sunday afternoon after this and lunch, I feel better. And I know many of you would echo the same thing. And to the leaders. This summer I was in New York City on a Sunday. I decided to look up a secular meeting and go to it. There wasn't one. The next week we were in Washington, D.C. There wasn't one. And maybe I just missed it. I don't know. Maybe they're not on Sunday. But I know that the fourth largest city in the nation has a secular meeting that is here every week. And thank you, leaders, for that. Thank you, thank you. Now, one of our core values, one of our core values is people are more important than beliefs. Let me shorten that. As a humanist, people are important, right? Isn't that a core thing for us? People are more important than beliefs. So it's appropriate to ask, with that in mind, how could we here at Houston Oasis do an even better job in 2024 of being an ongoing source of encouragement for as many people as possible? A few weeks ago, our speaker was Shrista. She's from Canada. She's the one who asked us questions and had us go to different parts of the room. Remember that? That was fun. She had a lot of great things to say, and at lunch I was fortunate enough to sit across from her at the table. And knowing that she's been to all these secular groups across North America, I asked her, what have you learned? What do these groups have in common? She had a lot of good things to say. But I want to highlight one. She said, I've noticed that these secular groups level off at about 80 people. That didn't really surprise me because I spent years of my life studying how to make a church grow and dramatic differences between secular groups and churches, but they're both volunteer organizations that seek human attendance, and they have a lot in common that we may not realize. Psychological, sociological issues. Did you know that a 2019 survey indicated that on average, the average church in the United States has 65 people on Sunday morning? I've seen, I'm sorry, 75. I said 65 because the number's going down, but when they finished it, it was 75. So what does that mean? Secular groups, Christian churches level off at about the same number. What's this about? What does it mean? Well, I'm going to keep it simple, real simple, with one word. It's about comfort. And it's really about who we are as humans and how we work. So you come to a group like this and you meet some people and like they're your special friends. And so when you walk in the door, you look for those people and you talk to them and you get this great conversation before the meeting starts or during the break. And there's nothing bad. It's a good thing. It's what's supposed to happen, but it's very comfortable to do that and not ever see the person who walked in for the first time. And so then it becomes possible for somebody to walk in and walk out and nobody ever made them feel seen and heard. Not because they meant to, just because they were doing what was comfortable. It's comfortable to not let the size of the group get too big, because if it gets bigger, where are we going to meet? We're going to have 2 meetings on Sunday? What are we going to do? And who's going to come in? You know, we're not sure who's going to come. What if they change things? And then it's comfortable just to do things the way they've always been done. And another thing that Shrista said, she said, if we're not willing to change, we can't say we care about people. Now, it's interesting that although that 75 number for churches is declining to more around 65, there are some churches that are growing. And again, this is a very complex topic, but let me say 3 things about growing churches that I believe are true, I know to be true. What's different about them from these 65 or 70 size churches? They make sure newcomers feel seen and heard and welcome. They offer subgroups that provide easy opportunities for people to get to know each other, to be seen and heard, and encourage each other one-to-one. And they place a priority on having that element of encouragement present in their main weekly meeting. Having said all of that, here's my challenge to Houston Oasis 2024. This is just me, it's just my opinion. I'm not speaking as an authority or anything, but it's my challenge to you, my people. In 2024, I challenge Houston Oasis at every level to be intentional, more intentional about encouragement, to move out of our comfort zones in 3 areas, to refine and develop our sensitivity to newcomers, to facilitate more opportunities like we're already doing with our bi-monthly potluck, opportunities to get to know each other and to interact, to be seen and heard individually. And 3, to consider how we can always include some element of encouragement in these morning meetings. And then a final word to you as individuals. For this week, I want to practice what I'm talking about here. Whatever folding chair you're required, or chairs you're required to hold up this week, I hope that you find encouragement. And I hope that part of that encouragement is knowing that you're a part here of a group of like-minded people and you're not alone. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. That was a great talk. I'd like to bring up Terry at this point, who's now the president of the Houston Oasis Board.
Good morning, everybody. It is an amazing honor to be selected to... Closer? Sorry, usually I'm really good at this. My theater experience. Thank you. It's an honor to be put into this position, and as well as a challenge, it's very exciting, and I think the new board we have coming in is going to be amazing. We have a symposium set up on January the 20th to bond and to look at all of the... Tim, did you look at our notes? Where is he? No, Tim, this Tim, who just looked at our notes. I mean, thank you for saying all that. Thank you for validating many of the things that we've already been talking about and we've been bouncing around. So thank you so much. You hit the nail on the head. We have a very, very strong new board coming in. We're very excited to move forward in our new space with all of our new members and all of our returning members. And so with that, I think we're going to introduce our board. Let me get it right. Tim? Tim and David Oliveria. Tim. Help me make sure I get it right. Jennifer Payton, who you've seen out the front forever. Of course, Will Judy, who's been with us. Oh yes, Richard. And can we give Ted a hand? He stepped down so his brother could get onto the board. So thank you, Ted, for everything. We will miss your kind, wonderful sincerity and all your wonderful ideas that you have, but I'm sure you'll still share them with us, right? All right, and who else? Verena. Is Verena here? No, Verena's recovering from her Caribbean COVID. Anyway. And Jacob. Is that everybody? Oh, and Pete. And about Abhishek? Okay, guys, after having taught school for 40 years, theater, I can't remember anyone's names, but I remember who you are and what you do, so pardon me for that. But anyway, on to this next new year. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome.
Thanks, Terry. All right, now at this point, we're going to take a 10-minute short break, fill some coffee, and get some snacks, and we'll come back. And we have a few events coming up. You can talk about it. Maybe let's get Paige here for one of the events. You want to go ahead?
Just real quick before the break, I wanted to let you know at the break on a table in back will be a copy of this book. It's the Kinsey Collection, Shared Treasures of Bernard and Shirley Kinsey, Where Art and History Intersect. The Kinseys are a philanthropic couple in Los Angeles. She has collected African American art. He has collected African American history. The collection came here 10 years ago as the opening exhibit for the Museum of African American Culture. Now it is opening at the Holocaust Museum for 5 months. And the Holocaust Museum has raised a lot of money to support things. And again, on January 20th is also a teacher workshop you can get credit for. There are lots of ways they have where if you are a teacher, you can get special help for tours at the museum. This is a really important exhibit. I am so excited to know that it's coming back, and it's going to be in, I'm sure you're going to hear about it in the news, and I'm just trying to let everybody know about it. And if you wonder why it's in the Holocaust Museum, if you read Isabel Wilkerson's book, Caste, you know that the Nazis sent people to this country to see how we treated black people so they would know how to treat Jews. So I applaud the Holocaust Museum for making the connection and having this exhibit. So come take a look at the book if you want a preview of the exhibit. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Paige, for that. And please look up your bulletins here, and you can ask any of us back there about, there's a lot of organizers that handle some of these events, and we'll be right back with the main talk. Thank you.
I see conclusion in all this confusion. Though you and I both know it's only the one that's got you feeling this way. I don't care, I want you to stay. Just to hold me and tell me we love you. Children are dancing, gamblers are chancing. Windows accusing the door of abusing the one. Who cares what the night watchmen say? The stage has been set for the play. So just hold me and tell me we love you today. Moon's come and gone, but a few stars hang to the sky. Well, the wind's running free, but it ain't
right, everyone, let's start coming back, and we'll be starting soon. Please come back to your seats.
Because of you, the sun will shine. The moon and stars will say you were mine. Forever and never to part. I only live
Good morning, everyone. We're about to start. Ready or not? All right. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to do one more song with Pete before we start the main talk. Let's go. Petesimple.
Thanks, Abhishek. I did want to share, I am on the Houston Oasis board. Hi, I'm the music guy. If you have anybody that you would love to see this year, please have them check out helpmegig.com. I help book here and I help book at the Urban Harvest Farmers Markets. That's my volunteer work. So if you want to let your favorite musician know, we'd love to have them here. So, thanks. So what am I saying here now? Trying to find something to talk about. We might relax, find a way to get around the things now. We don't mind for the miles and miles away. People that come your way, cause they hear your eyes, your smile. In the moonlight, they hear your eyes, your smile. In my dreams, I hear your eyes, your smile. In the moonlight, I hear your eyes, your smile. In my dreams, so please. So please, and thank you. I will miss you. Kissed you through these words, through these words. What are we saying here now? We're trying to find something to talk about with the suits and the wallets and the way you have might even have called me out. So don't mind for the miles and miles, babe. People that come your way to hear your eyes, your smile. In the moonlight, I hear your eyes, your smile. In my dreams, I hear your eyes, your smile. In the moonlight, I hear your eyes, your smile. In my dreams, so please. So please, thank you. Through these words, through these words. Thank you. think we have Lew coming up? All right.
All right, let's bring back Lew here. Thanks, Pete, for that. And Lew's our champion community moment presenter, and he's talked to us about some of these scams before, and he's coming back to give a rejoinder on that.
All right, can you hear me? How about that? Better? Okay, hey, Happy New Year, everybody. But more important, how about those Texans? Yes! There's about 40 of us at a pub in Houston last night, and we brought the place down. Okay. All righty, so what is my talk about? It's right there. So, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is I think I have found some scams that will help you folks avoid data loss, financial loss, stress, whatever. The bad news is this stuff never stops. Every time I look at any of my sources to see what scams are out there, there's one that I never heard of before. So next week I'm doing a community moment, and that's going to limit to credit card scams, which probably everybody here would be interested in knowing about that. I'm assuming you all have a credit card. And then in March, I'm doing another main talk and another community moment, and it's the fallout from what I don't get to today, or scams that get developed between now and 2 months from now. Oops. What am I doing wrong? Okay, it's not advancing. Thought I knew how to do that. I thought I could do that with the keys. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's just a repeat of what I just said. Okay, can you all read that okay? Yeah. All right, I don't need to dim the lights, all right. It says, since 2021, Americans have lost $2.8 billion in scams from social media alone, according to the Federal Trade Commission. That number is based on of 250,000 social media fraud instances reported to the FTC. And we know there's a lot that never get reported. More than half the money reported lost went to investment scammers. Okay. Of all the slides I'm going to show you, this is the only one that got me. All right? I was a victim of this. So if you're in a browser and you see a message, anything like that at all, okay? This is one that came up for me, I guess. They'll look similar. They'll say to call Microsoft or go to a website. Don't do it. You will lose your data. Your PC or laptop will get infected, and you're dead in the water. What happened to me is that my PC was infected. I brought it back to the guy who bought it. Cost me $300 to clean it. So don't believe it. What should you do? You do Control-Alt-Delete, get to the task manager, and close down your browser. Okay? Of what? What you told us to do. Oh, okay. Well, it will close the browser, and it will close that message, and it probably won't come back.
You can also just turn the computer off.
Yeah. It's a little more dramatic, but you can. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, this is an email that I got, and many of you have received similar emails, and it's basically saying, Netflix is a streaming service that offers a blah, 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 your payment method has expired. What's interesting about that is I have never had a subscription to Netflix. So, if you get something Okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you. Don't do anything if you get a message like that. All right? At the very least, call up the company, in this case Netflix, and say what's going on. Okay. Let's talk about fake business emails or fake emails altogether. It says phishing is a form of social engineering and scam where attackers deceive people into revealing sensitive information or installing malware such as ransomware. I have some more slides about ransomware. Security researchers have discovered a new technique that allows threat actors, scammers, to send spoofed emails with false addresses. In fact, that last one about Netflix is an example of that. They can use this technique to deliver highly targeted phishing emails which avoid being spotted by email security solutions, with one exception. I'll get to that later. Phishing continues to be the primary attack vector for most threat actors out there. Threat actor is a scammer, right? It is omnipresent, cheap, and can be automated. I'll tell you next week, but Visa, if you have a Visa card, has done a lot of work to stop this stuff from happening using artificial intelligence. Threat actors can impersonate big brands, company managers, and similar, and use AI writers to draft emails with a sense of urgency. Victims often act on these emails either by clicking a link or downloading an attachment without considering the potential risks resulting in endpoint compromise or data theft, which is what happened to me. Okay, part 2. If you receive an email saying that it is from Amazon, Netflix, or another retail or service provider claiming there was a suspicious purchase on your account, do not, boldface, do not respond to them or provide it. The scammers are trying to gather your personal information. Instead, log into your online account or go to the company's website to find their service number and call it. In other words, don't believe the email. Oops. Okay, when I was putting this together, I realized that I had a whole lot more data that I could possibly represent between now and my talks in March. So, this whole talk will get onto YouTube fairly shortly, as do most of the talks. So, if you go to YouTube, you can get this web address, which was the source of the information for a lot of this talk, but I don't have time for it. Okay. Okay, question for the crowd. What's the most valuable resource? Something a little more tangible than time. The answer is data. Okay, another URL. This is 6 money scams targeting seniors and how to stay safe. So again, if you go to this web address, you'll get an expansion of what I don't have time to cover for you. I may get to some of this stuff in March, but certainly not before that. Excuse me. Okay, here's an interesting situation. I do all of my banking, financial stuff on my PC. I refuse to use my iPhone to do anything financial. I don't check balances, I don't pay bills. And I have a T-Mobile iPhone, and I talked to T-Mobile, and I told them that I am afraid, if that's the right word, of doing financial stuff on my iPhone, and they said, yeah, it's a good idea, don't do it. There is one way around it, and I'll get to it. But for the time being, anything I want to do financial, I do on my PC. Okay. Mobile banking, of course, refers to banking on your smartphone. All right. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Create a strong password. Lock your phone whenever it isn't in use. Use two-factor authentication. You folks know what that is? Okay, yeah, it's when you put in your password and it wants a little bit more information. You're going to get sent to your phone or PC a code word, security word. And only if you put that in will it let you into whatever site you were trying to go to. It's a bit of a nuisance, but it's a good idea. All right. Download a verified banking app from the bank's website. I just won't do that. You know, I'm home enough that I can do everything I need to do financially on my PC. Don't really need my phone for that. By the way, I have a Windows 11 machine. Windows 11 has very good virus protection. It's very good. I've never had a problem with it. As a matter of fact, I had a subscription to AVG, which I really like, but I canceled it. I haven't had any problems with viruses on Windows 11. Watch out for text or email messages trying to get your information. Obvious. Use alerts. Okay, this is a great idea. All right, I would advise you to go into every financial account you have, whether it's a credit card account or your investments, and set up alerts. That way, if either something positive or negative happens to the money in that account, you'll get, based on your choice, either a text message or an email. I don't know why anybody wouldn't do that, but you know, it's obvious to me. But matter of fact, I had dinner last night with friends and used my credit card, and before I got to my car, I got a text message telling me of the transaction. Okay. Nevertheless, I check my credit card statements every 2 weeks, just in case something got through. You mean the balances? Yeah. Oh, I go into in my case, it's Chase Bank's website and look at my credit card statement. Okay. Amazon, because they're so big, scams galore. So Amazon will not ask you to install an app or download software in order to receive a refund or to get help from customer service. They just won't. Amazon will not ask you to provide payment information, including gift cards for verification cards, or some scammers call them for products or services over the phone. Always verify orders directly with Amazon. Amazon will not include purchased product information in order for confirmation and shipping confirmation emails that they send to customers. For any question related to an order, always check there's a little link called Your Orders on Amazon.com or via the Amazon shipping app. Beware of false urgency. Amazon will not pressure you to act now. Scammers may try to create a sense of urgency to persuade you to do what you're asking. I have a good trick about Amazon. Maybe you already know this. Let's say you've purchased something and you put it in your cart. Yeah? The next thing you're going to do is empty the cart. Don't. Leave it there for a couple days. Some other vendor may cut the price down. I've done that a couple of times. All right, as Amazon deals with a lot of other vendors. So a lot of the things you buy on Amazon are not from Amazon. They're from somebody they subcontracted with. This has worked for me. Unless it's something you really need right away, leave it in the cart for a couple days. You may get a notification that someone is going to sell you that item at less than Amazon will. Okay. I used to have a house, sold it a couple years ago, but I became aware as a homeowner of home repair scams. So let me review these for you. Beware of unsolicited offers. It says, frequently appear after a severe weather event. Yeah, anytime I was in my house and Houston had flooding or a hurricane, I get phone calls or people knocking on my door offering me, you know, new roof, whatever. Beware of fake insurance adjusters. This got to take somebody with, you know, with a lot of nerve to actually try to convince you they're an insurance adjuster. But people go for it. It says, check out licensed insurance companies, agents, and adjusters at the Texas Department of Insurance at www.tdi, Texas Department of Insurance, at texas.gov. There's a lot of good information about threat actors for insurance issues. Avoid turning over your insurance benefits. People actually do this. It says scammers may try to convince you to sign over your insurance benefits to them in exchange for a quick and easy payout. Always read the fine print and understand what you are signing. I interviewed a number of companies about putting storm windows on my house. And what I learned to do is you read the back page of the quote. So I didn't accept anybody's offer because I wanted to get 3 or 4. I looked on the back, and you need to do this, okay? You get, Gulf Coast Windows is a nice company, but the back of their quotes say, you know, the warranty is only good for a short period of time. The only company that I found that has, to me, an ironclad warranty is Anderson, except for one thing. They're the most expensive. Okay. Home repair schemes part 2. All right, watch out for inflated estimates after severe weather. Beware of estimates that seem too high or too good to be true. Check the reputation of contractors and repair companies. The Better Business Bureau has a lot of good information about scams. So before dealing with a company that you're not familiar with, check the BBB. You do it online, see if the company's there. Look for reviews online and ask for references. Again, go to bbbhouston.org. Review your insurance policy. How many people do that? You got homeowner's insurance? Do you actually read what it covers and doesn't cover? You should. All right, you need to understand what may or may not be covered. Okay, this is kind of a repeat, but it's important. Easy to set up for all financial accounts, but especially credit cards. Set the alert for $1. So you will get your preference, a text message or an email telling you there's either a debit or a credit on whatever account you set up the alert for. I would set it up for everything. All your bank accounts, credit cards, whatever. You only have to do it once. And I've never gotten a crank email because I set up an alert on my bank, you know. By the way, I think this is the most important slide. Okay. Interesting situation. The Russians invade the Ukraine. And I'll bet you all got solicitations for charities to help out the Ukrainians. But I had no idea which charity was valid. So I went to Charity Navigator. And if you do go there, it's a website, before making a donation to a charity with which you are not familiar. Look for the salaries of the charity's CEO. Some may be over $300,000. Be cautioned if the salary is not provided. I chose AmeriCares. They seem to be pretty decent company to monitor your financial, your money to the Ukraine. And kind of way in a better site is www.give.org. You can find out anything you want about a charity on there. Charity Navigator is good for recommendations, but if you want all the data, such as how much are the CEOs getting paid, go to www.give.org. I think it's got everything you'd want to know about a particular charity. Excuse me. Okay. The hot topic of the day. Gosha Potaman gave a good talk here about 2 months ago about cryptocurrency. And as it turns out, as you could guess, there's a lot of scammers out there. So the question is, if you're thinking investing in cryptocurrency, how do you know if the company is valid? Well, interestingly enough, there's a thing called a rug pull. You know, pull a rug out from somebody. If you go to Google and you Google rug pull, it will tell you what kind of approach you're going to get. So that should help you identify fake approaches to invest in cryptocurrency. There's also a thing called pig butchering. It's called because perpetrators will fatten up a victim to gain their trust before butchering them, typically by persuading them to invest large sums of money into fraudulent investments, then making off with all of it. By the way, a lot of drug dealers have gotten out of the drug business for two reasons. Number one, it's fairly easy to get caught, and the penalties are long jail terms. It's pretty hard to catch the scammers having to deal with cryptocurrency, and the penalties aren't nearly as bad. I watched a program on this, and this is like, you know, found money for scammers who get people to invest in cryptocurrency. Okay, this one's a little obsolete because we're past the Christmas giving thing, but another scam that's going around is you buy a gift card, you send it to somebody, you try to use it, and you find out it has no balance. Pretty disappointing. Okay, so if you're in Walmart and you're looking at this big display of gift cards, inspect the card carefully. Thieves are taking a tiny sticker with a barcode on it and placing it on the barcode of the gift card. This has the effect of draining the card. Make sure you look at the physical gift card by ripping for ripping or other damage. The following websites have good information on how to avoid this scam. So there are actually 2 websites that will give you a lot of information about how to avoid buying a gift card that basically has a balance of 0. Of course, one of the problems is that you send the gift card to one of your children, and they try to use it, and they call up and they say, wouldn't use my card. So, I'm going to skip this one for now. Yeah. Y'all read that? Okay. My guy's from Pakistan. Okay. Scams focused on older people like me and some of you. The grandparents scam. This one's been going on for a while, and it'll probably never stop because people fall for it. You'll get a call from a person impersonating a grandchild and they ask you for money to get them out of trouble. Call other family members before taking any action, because they're going to know if their son or daughter or whatever has been kidnapped. The romance scam. You may be contacted through social media. The person will ask for money to be sent overseas. People actually fall for this. What can I say? Oh boy. How are we doing for time, Abhishek? Okay. Miscellaneous. If someone calls and asks you if you are name, now I have, to be honest with you, I have trained myself. I never, ever, ever say yes to that question. Why? Because they may be recording it and using it to buy something with your vocal signature. So what I do is I say, who's calling, please? Maybe they won't answer, in which case you hang up. But never say yes to that question. If they say, you know, ask you if you are Lew Kana, don't answer. It's kind of tempting, and it's also flattering that they've got your name. You've got to kind of train yourself. Okay, this is kind of an interesting app called Guardio. It only works on Edge, the browser. It's a security app that installs as a browser extension. It guards a blockchain, which is another name for a distributed ledger, from hiding malicious code. Okay, pull a credit report 3 times a year. I do this, all right? Go to annualcreditreport.com, and there's one for each of the 3 major credit companies. There's no charge. You do it as often as you want. You can print out the credit report, or you can just view it online, and you're looking for stuff you didn't expect to see there. Or your credit score's gone down, and you don't know why. This is how you find out. It's a pretty valuable resource. As a general rule, do not respond to Facebook friend requests from someone you don't know. I imagine that nobody here does that, okay? It's a little flattering that somebody calls, emails you and says they want to be your friend. And, you know, the answer is no unless you know the person. Never click on a pop-up ad unless you are positive it's associated with a legitimate website. Okay. If I ever decide to use my smartphone for financial stuff, I will install a VPN on my smartphone. Stands for Virtual Private Network. It's an app, right? It's a mechanism for creating a secure online connection between a computing device, smartphone, and a computing network. This tool hides your IP address from everybody, including Amazon vendors. It could be a little aggravating because they're going to come back to you and say, you know, is this a real address or whatever? But I don't think I need it on my PC, but if I ever decide to use financial applications on my smartphone, I will certainly download a VPN app. Two-factor authentication, we already talked about this before, right? Okay. Okay, anybody here watch this program? I've got probably 1/3 of the information in my presentation from Mariana von Zeller. NG stands for National Geographic television station. This lady manages to get the worst of the scammers to talk to her. So I don't know how she does it, but she's interviewed counterfeiters in Ecuador, financial scammers in Israel, just about everybody. And so you can learn a lot about what the approaches would be. Why do these guys talk to her? Probably vanity. The last one that I watched was talking about illegal gold mining and deforestation that's being done in the Amazon rainforest. Here's an unusual fact. The Amazon rainforest is 10 times bigger than Texas. You imagine that? By the way, the other thing that's interesting about the Amazon rainforest is it can't be seen from space, like from the International Space Station. Anybody know why? Yeah, and it's cloud cover caused by the water percolating up the trees and forming clouds. So you can look at it from, 35,000 feet in an airliner, and you can't see anything except clouds. Other programs that Mariana has been talked to us about is counterfeiting and cryptocurrency. Program that saw so much of the items in this presentation. Okay. Lockbit. Lockbit is ransomware as a service, also known as an RAAS. Lockbit 2.0 is a more advanced version of Lockbit 1.0. It's another example of ransomware as a service that leverages double extortion techniques as part of the attack to pressure victims into paying the ransom. So, if you read about Chronicle or online about some company that's had their data locked up or forbidden, 40% of that is because of Lockbit. It's not the only RAAS, but it's the one that seems to be the most successful. Okay. An extortion technique as part of the attack to pressure victims into paying the ransom. They usually only bother with companies. Individuals aren't, usually worth it. It's the most impactful malicious software designed to block user access to computer systems in exchange for ransom, often in the form of Bitcoin. Interesting. Protection against a lockbit infection can take the form of strong passwords, active multi-factor authentication, and having system-wide backups and a clean local image prepared. The Windows 11 PC that I bought a couple years ago, the guy who built it for me added an app called Macrium. Macrium makes complete system backups of everything that's on your PC. And you can say do it once a week, once a month, whatever. So if you're in a situation where your data has been compromised, that data will be in the Macrium backup. Didn't cost me anything. It's M-A-C-R-I-U-M. Okay, a little bit more about virtual private networks. The mechanism for creating a secure connection between a computing device and a computer network or between two networks. Thus, the site you visited is invisible to a potential hacker. A virtual private network is an internet security service that allows users to access the internet as though they were connected to a private network. VPNs use encryption to create a secure connection over unsecured internet infrastructure. Yes, you will need to install a VPN client on each device you want to connect to the VPN. So, smartphones, PCs, laptops, whatever. Okay, we out of time, Abhishek? Yeah. Okay, all righty. I'll get to the rest of this sometime. Next week, I'm doing the community moment based on credit cards. Everybody has a credit card. So, hopefully, I hope this was useful.
Lou, that was a great talk. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I'm sure the internet keeps on giving, huh? The internet keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It never stops.
Of course. Thank you. That was great. All right. Now we'll have, before we have one final song by Petesimple, I'd like to bring up Richard, who's our stand-in treasurer at this point, I guess.
Hey folks, Rich Andrews. I just wanted to mention a couple different completely unrelated things. One is if you have the ability to support Oasis, we pay the musicians, we pay the speakers. I'm not sure we're paying the speaker and the musician today, but we will, don't worry. And and we keep the lights, oh, there you go. And we have modern ways of giving. This little information thing is on the back there. We also have an old-fashioned black hat. If you can drop a little love in there, that would be wonderful. Dig into your pocket if you have change. We will take change, or $100 bills, either one. So if you're not able to give, don't worry about it. We're just happy that you're here. That's the most important thing. And on a completely separate note, I wanted to mention an activity that is being started up here, which is a dialogue group. I've handed out some of these little slips of paper to some of you, or you can come up to me and give me your text number or email, and then I'll put you on a list. This is basically something called Oasis Dialogues and Streams. It is not an official Oasis activity yet. It's an unofficial activity. But it'll be during the week where we'll get together. We'll have a consensus on what day of the week that will be, maybe a Saturday or something, sometimes virtual again, sometimes in person. And the idea is that we'll take difficult topics where, I've always been fascinated by the important question of how do you have respectful dialogue with somebody that you vigorously disagree with. I thought we'd start with something easy like Middle East peace. How hard can that be? And so if you're interested, and so we are specifically going to start with the Middle East peace question. But I thought we would do that by developing an understanding of the other. So important for us to understand the other. And something like storytelling, for example, goes around our fear center. It goes around the amygdala when we're learning about other people. If you're interested in yelling at people, then this is probably not the group you want to come to. This is for understanding other people. And you can be passionate. By all means, bring your passion, but leave your stridency at home, or we can have a separate strident yelling group. But if you're interested in, and we'll have films, we'll have music, we'll have a whole variety of different ways of developing understanding, guest speakers, and things like that. So if you're interested in that, please come to me, give me your email or phone number, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Richard. That sounds like a great way to put our core values into action. All right, let's do one final song by Petesimple.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out. There is lunch after this. It's in the program where it is. He'll do that after me. Okay, so there's one more announcement after me. Got it. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm here with my friend Mikhail. Please get up, Mikhail.
Come on, flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he run holy rover. He got hair down to his knee. Not to be a joker, he just do what he please. Here where no shoe shine, he got toe gym football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola. He say, I know you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me. He got all this gumbo, she got oh no sideboard, she was spinal cracker, he got feet down below his knee. Hold you in his arm till you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. He got early morning, he got muddy water, he was mojo filter. Say 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking, cause he's so hard to see. Come together right now, so come together. Over me.
Thank you. You certainly finished strong, Pete. All right. That's our program today. We have a few more announcements. I guess lunch is at Moni's Pizzeria. Long time. I tried it out the other day, and I hadn't had it before, and it's a great choice. Pete can say more about it, I guess. But we'll see you there, and we have a few more announcements as well.
Quick question about Moni's Pizzeria.
Yep.
Will they validate the parking in the parking garage across the street?
It's free.
It's free parking on the roof.
There's free parking upstairs as well. On the there's a ramp on the side. If you don't find, there's free parking always. Yeah. So we're good there.
Yeah, park on top of the roof.
Yeah, you got to park upstairs. Yeah, in the same place above Moni's Pizzeria. The other announcement is please look through your bulletins. There's a survey in there with a QR code. It's also available on our social media pages. Follow us online on Meetup, Facebook, Instagram. I believe we have pretty much every platform here. Maybe less on TikTok. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next week. We have a few more talks. Yes, David.
Next week, I think the Houston Marathon is next Sunday, so take care about the road closures.
Yes. Just work through your road closures here. We should be out of the way, but there might be still some issues getting here. So take your time. All right. We'll see you back. Thank you.